Hello there. One of the most famous authors that I can think of today is Enid Blyton. But what really surprises me is that many of my students have never even heard about Enid Blyton's material. Enid Blyton was a legend when it came to writing stories and literature. Her books were full of creativity and imagination. And one of the things that kind of really made me interested in her material was that she had nothing but sheer determination to be published as an author, because Enid was rejected many times, and that made her even more determined. And she then went on to study and to become a teacher. She left behind a legacy and she has so many books. It's unbelievable. Now, whether you're an adult or a child wanting to enhance your English skills, I highly recommend opening up one of her books, because Enid can introduce you into British culture and old-fashioned England in a way that nobody ever was able to do. I am very, I cannot emphasize how I fell in love and very much in love with Enid Blyton's material. And even now as an adult, I just cannot imagine having the ability to sit down and write such amazing material, because she created so many stories. It's very amazing. So today I'd like to introduce you to the very first page in the book, The Adventurous Four. And I'm also going to introduce you into a style of reading that I use with my students online. This book was first published in 1941, so it really does take you back down memory lane. So the first chapter begins, "The beginning of the adventures." 3 small children ran down a rocky path to the seashore. Tom went first, a small, wiry boy of 12, his red hair gleaming in the sun. He looked round at the 2 girls following, and his green eyes twinkled. "Want any help, you two?" Mary and Jill laughed in scorn. "Don't be so silly, Tom," said Mary. "We're as good as you any day when we're running over the rocks." The girls were twins and very like each other, with their heads of thick golden hair tied in plaits and their deep blue eyes. They often laughed at their brother Tom and said he should have been called Carrots or Ginger or Marmalade because of his red hair. They were all on holiday, staying in a little fishing village on the northeast coast of Scotland. Their father was in the Air Force and their mother was with them, knitting hard all day long in the garden of the little white house where they were staying. The 3 of them had run wild and were all burnt as brown monkeys. Usually they wore nothing but bathing costumes and rubber shoes, and spent as much of their time in the sea as out of it. At first their mother had been afraid of the big waves that crashed on the shore, for she had thought the 3 children would surely be thrown onto the sand and hurt if they tried to bathe in such a rough sea. But they had soon learnt to swim right through the heart of the big breaking waves and reach the calmer water beyond the shore. They had one great friend, Andy, and the fisher boy. He was a big, strong lad of 14 who had just left school and was helping his father with his fishing. Andy was dark-haired and blue-eyed and was burnt dark brown by the sun. He knew everything about the sea boats and fishing. He could mimic any seabird and could call the wild gulls to him by crying to them. Andy's marvellous, said Mary and Jill a dozen times a day, and Tom agreed. Each day, the children went to talk to their friend and to watch him bring in the catch of fish, clean it, and pack it away to be sent away. Andy was tall and brown. He was dressed in old blue trousers and a dark blue jersey. He liked the three children very much and often took them out in his little boat. He had taught them all to swim like fishes, to row strongly, and to climb the rocky cliffs like cats. It would really have turned their mothers. And there you go. That is the first page.